The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Welcome. Good morning, folks. Sorry, we just kind of got a little sidetracked there. I don't know the answer to that question. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the, Valentine's Day, the February 14th. The terrific Tuesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I want you to know I am absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this, during this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to pick up that phone. You can dial on it at 877-927-6648. Now, if you can't call in, but you have a question, you can send that an email to me. Send that to Steve at TFNN.com. And inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on terrific Tuesday, on Valentine's Day Tuesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, we've got all the U.S. Well, I take that back. We've got two USNCs trading to the upside. We've got the rest trading to the downside. The semis are up 28. The S&P or the trannies are up 2.5. I'm going to take a quick moment here and just ask the production room. Are you seeing my white background screens now? We may have a technical difficulty here, folks, that we need to resolve. So you've got the semis. You got it. Okay, great. So then we're all set there. So let's go back to the main screen. That way you guys can follow along with me. And, of course, hopefully we have Mr. Bill in the den to keep me honest when I don't change screens when I should. So you got the Dow trading down 190, S&P off 13, NASDAQ off 18, and the Russell's off 7. Gold's down $1, silver's off 15 cents. Lightspeed crude trade down at 79.07. It's off $1.25. Natural gas is up 10 cents. The 30-year Treasury down a half a point. 126.29 is the print there. Leading the charge, dollar-wise, the upside, we've got Mercado Libre up 19 points. Avis budget budget group is up $17. That's an 8% move. Synopsys is up 13. 3.5%. MicroStrategy 12. That's 5%. To the downside, it's MedPace Holdings down $13, and Dava PLC off 13 as well. Albany International down 11 and change. John Deere down 8, and Herc Holdings is off $8 and change out there. So you don't see the black background screen, production room? Maybe we do have a problem. Well, I'm going to switch over to my white background charts. The first question that really came in, and something we want to cover anyways, is this came in from Defining Time. Let's really take a look at the intraday charts on the ES Mini. So I'm going to change over to that panel. I guess just give Mr. Bill, just give me the thumbs up if you're seeing here the white background screen, which everybody should be seeing. Let me change over to this other chat here. Now it's gone. It's gray. Interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. So I'll just keep going here. You guys try to keep me as honest as you possibly can. Thanks, Mr. Bill. So the first thing that I want to do is, with regard to the ES Mini, we know with certainty here is that there's an A to B equals CD pattern. You can see that. There is no bearish reversal candle to confirm that as a top. So that's what's missing from a topping signal for the ES Mini. I'm just going to move that away. We don't really need those. We know the A to B equals CD pattern exists. We know what it is that we're waiting for. So let's just get rid of those blue lines out there. What we also now know is, since the new profile form That formed back on February the 6th. Price has been consolidating with inside it. We saw one quick break above it on February 7th. That didn't last for more than about 10, 15 minutes, really. It was about a half an hour or so. And then price got back inside the profile. We also know that support so far is at 40.67. So if we're looking for a support level for the day, it's really between 40.27 and 40.67. But right now we know 40.67 is held, has been tested. That's a part of the bullish structured profile, and that held as support out there. Now, price right now is trading below its green oscillator and change line. Could be signaling to us that we move to the downside a bit, but let's not make that conclusion here. But it's good to understand the daily time frame, what it means. If I look at a 5-hour time frame chart here, this did confirm a buy the D point pattern. It did that at about 1400 hours, 2 o'clock in the afternoon on February the 10th. Now, what price did today or early this morning after the jobs report numbers were released, we've seen wild gyrations out here. What price has not been able to do is take out the resistance level of 41.94. So price didn't get all the way up there, but it got up close enough. Right now, the overall signal that we have here is neutral. I'm going to get rid of I'm not going to worry about getting rid of those lines right now. Let's just move over to a different time frame. 5-hour chart, we've really got, or 4-hour chart, we've got the same type of pattern out here as we look at the 5. So where are we at here, Stevie? What held as support today on those moves lower? So that's what I'm looking at. And do I see anything? The only real support level that I can see for the day that would be of really important value to us is 41.1475. And that's been tested. That was tested during that gyration between 8:30 and 10 when this 4-hour time frame chart. No, it wasn't between 8:30. It was 10. It would be between 6 and 10 this morning. And price moved all the way down, and you can see it tested, and the actual low was, we've had a slightly lower low since, but that low is 41.14. And the profile, you can see that over, well, just to make sure you can see it. Now you can see that 41.1475 level. So that's the number that defining time, that's the number I'd have down on a pad of paper. I would say that if price closed below that level, then what the ES mini should do is go target 40.7875. That would be the target to the downside. To the upside, the target is 41.94 when we take a look at the 4-hour time frame chart. So let's take a look at really short term out here, 10 minute. What do we have? This is the only bot. So the other thing, there was a hammer candle that formed here at 9:40. That low is the 41.14 level. So that's perfect. We then have another hammer candle that confirms a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. It did that as we came on the air at 11 o'clock. So you can see the Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal. And folks, I teach that. Just subscribe to Mastering Probability. I've got a workshop up there. You really want to understand this pattern. Great for identifying tops and the bottom signals out there. So so I give you the entire set of rules. So that gets automatically triggered here. I don't draw any of these lines in or anything. I just let the computer do that work for me. And then that followed up. So that any type of pattern that Stevie uses needs a bullish or bearish reversal candle. The only one that doesn't is Basil's a rogue wave, wave number 7 out there. But otherwise, I look for a confirmation from the cavalry. Well, if we take a look at, so in here, price was pushing lower. What this is telling us is price is pushing lower with less relative energy. That's really not a great scene for somebody that wants to be short. I noticed as I was logging into the Discord system, there were some people, Dan, I think, maybe Dudette, who closed out some trades. I think Dudette, you were in the euro. Dan, I don't know, maybe you were in the equities. Either way, what you've got out here is you had that nice bullish Pierce hammer candle again that formed at 11 a.m. confirming that. Right now, price is dealing with resistance, 41.36. Defining time, you get a close above 41.36, you're headed to 41.50. But the real key level to watch the downside today is 41.14. I believe if we close below that, we're headed much lower. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Currencies, commodities, and bond markets are as important as ever right now with how they're driving the volatility in equity markets across the globe, which is why it's a great time to try out Teddy Kegstad's Tiger Forex Report. Teddy Kegstad breaks down the Forex markets every Monday using his 30-plus years of experience as a trading veteran of futures, Forex, stocks, and options. Teddy releases his weekly Tiger Forex Report every Monday morning with coverage of all the major currency pairs, including the dollar index, the euro dollar, pound dollar, dollar Swiss, dollar yen, as well as many more, and he also has weekly coverage of the crude oil market and the 30-year T-bonds as they both influence Forex markets tremendously. When you sign up for the Tiger Forex Report, you also gain instant access to Teddy's 60-minute webinar archive he just hosted, Forex Strategies and Fundamentals, What is Behind the Tiger Forex Report. For all the details and to start your 30-day Tiger Forex Report subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Folks, so what I've posted up here on my screen right now, this is the TAS market breadth. So we're taking a look at the S&P 500. We're taking a look at the ES Mini here. And this is current. And right now, we take a look at market breadth. Market breadth for all 4 time frames that we track on this system is bullish. And let me just make sure. Let me just open up this chart here. Just make sure. Yeah, that it's bullish. So right now, on a 60-minute basis, there are 201 of the S&P 500 plus instruments that are trading above profile. That's a bullish signal. Whereas there's 137 trading below profile. That would be a bearish signal. So when you get that crossover, just simply from a market breadth, says obviously we have more bullishness than we have bearishness here. So going back to defining time's question, if we saw a crossover on a 60-minute time frame and we're getting below that, I think it was 41.14 level, that's when you would see the market really move to the downside. But at this stage here, you have to say, or I will say, that this is a head fake that we're looking at least with regard to conditions, specifically at 11:19 in the morning. If we look at the 4-hour time frame chart, we can see that this actually had a bullish crossover. This was probably yesterday. This was on February 13th. This is much stronger. This has got 242 instruments above profile, 56 below. Not that it can't change, but I'm sharing with you right now. If you take a look at the daily time frame chart, 179 above, 55 below. And finally, let's take a look at the weekly time frame. You've got 190 above, 39 below. So when we take a look at the S&P 500, which we were, the ES Mini, its market profiles are bullish. So that says be careful to the downside. Now, we have one more market profile that we can take a look at, or market breadth, I should say. And this is from the 30-minute time frame. Now, I'm just going to change. Let me just clearing this cache out, so to speak, and let's get this back here, see if I can get this to update properly, just to make sure. And I don't know what the heck just happened here. So on a 30-minute basis, I don't know what happened with the charts, basically, what I should set. There we go. So right now, the problem is with the 30-minute time frame, and I may go back there, the 30-minute, to look at that chart with you guys just to identify possible support or resistance. I've seen the charts all great. So right now, on a 30-minute basis, very bearish. 282 of the S&P 500 instruments are trading below profile, 54 above. So before we go take a look at some other instruments, we only have really one request out here. That's from Dan and then. Take a look at BTAI. Let's switch back. I'm going to switch over to the white background charts out here. We're going to go take a look at a 30-minute time frame just to try to get a full read on that, because that's the one that we'll really look at the 30 and the 60 together. So now you should see those white background charts. Let's start with the 30. So on a 30-minute time frame, what we have out here is a confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That took place right here at 8:30, as the bell was ringing at 8:30. Why? Because we had that little dark cloud cover candle out there. And then you get that big whopper move to the upside and to the downside. So right now, the key level, or the next key level of support for the S&P 500, for the ES Mini, I should say, 4101.50. So you get below 4114, 4101 should be coming up shortly after that. Right now, we have price consolidating with inside a current profile. 4128.50 is support. I would note that on your pad of paper. 4172 is resistance. So I would watch those levels out here. So even though the ES Mini on a 30-minute basis showed all that negative market breadth, what we can say out here is that support is going to be at that 41.14 level. And price is inside a new profile, but I don't know. We need 8 more minutes to know whether or not this price is going to close back inside that or not. So the parameters, 41.14 to the bottom, 41.72 to the top. On a 60-minute time frame chart, what we have is a confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out there. No level of support that we saw here. That's why we went back to that 4-hour time frame chart to come up with that level. And so not much more for me to add here. Now, price is below profile, but if you can get back above 41.37, that adds to the bullish message, so to speak, of that TAS market breadth. So is there anything clear here? No. Well, I suppose we started to take a look at market breadth. Is there anything clear? Yeah, I'd say the core market breadth, the 240-minute, the 60-minute, daily and weekly, they are bullish. What I didn't do for you, and I should, let me just pull this over here. Let's just check this together. What's going on inside the NASDAQ 100? So here, let's just change this from the S&P. Let's change this, drop down to the NQ. And the NQ does have a 60-minute bearish crossover. In this case, we had 26 instruments above, 52 instruments below, for a 60-minute time frame. So what this says is a lot of choppiness, right? Choppiness, because you've got the ES Mini saying one thing, you've got the NQ saying another thing out there, and maybe that's what we've certainly seen today is chop. So let's go to our first question out. Here's from Dan in the Tiger's Den. He's looking at ticker symbol BTAI. Let me make sure I'm in the right spot. Yeah, we are. And BTAI is Bioxyl Therapeutics. And Dan is trying to figure out what to do with the position that he has. So Dan, let me just share with you my read of the charts and then see if that is the information that you need in order to make the decision that you were asking about. So first, we take a look at a daily time frame chart. The daily time frame shows a confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. That took place on February 9th. That was a dark cloud cover candle. That confirmed that pattern. All the price was able to do over the last 2 sessions was get back and test support, which was the top of the profile. Trading above the top of a profile, as we just said, and take a look at market breadth, that would be bullish. So we got bullish on the daily for one of the signals, or we did at least. And the second would be if it's trading above the green oscillator and change line. If you're trading above the top of a profile and above the green oscillator and change line, the signal there is bullish, outright bullish. Doesn't mean that it can't turn to the next moment, but all we can do is I can't tell you what's going to happen next. I can tell you what's happening now and what should then happen. So in this case here, what we see right now is prices trading below the green oscillator and change line. Tells us that the momentum is waning a bit. So let's go to neutral there. There is a new profile that formed yesterday. The support level, this is it looks like it's bullish and oh, it is not. 29. Oh, I see. So it's interesting. So now you've got a new profile here, Dan, that is formed below price. That's a bullish signal as well. So it's not that price can't get back down there. But if price were to pull back to $31, that would just be your next buy, potentially add to your position, because that's where a counter trend move should find support. It would be between 31 and 31.52. If price were to get below $31, then that's telling you it's going to get all the way back down to the bottom of that profile, 29.43. Okay, let's summarize this. You still have a confirmed top on the daily. Price has been moving sideways. A new profile that forms below price. I've got to say on the daily time frame, worst case at this moment is that we've got really a neutral type signal. Neutral type signal there. On the weekly time frame, no top whatsoever. On the monthly time frame, you're trading above the top of its profile, 3206. You're at 3279. That's a bullish signal, but it's only February 14th. By the way, happy Valentine's Day. But if price does remain above 3206 and certainly closes above it on a monthly basis, then what price should do is target 3649. So the longer term charts, the monthly and the weekly, are telling you and I that they want higher price, while the daily is neutral out there. And I know your position expires this Friday, so what do you do? I don't know that price is going to go substantially higher. Let's just take a look at it like this. The dark cloud cover candle that price is trading in did volume of 306,000 shares. Today, you've done 129,000 the first 2 hours. That's pretty decent volume. You're still pushing in that swing point with volume. So I guess what I'm saying here is I don't think you've got to take out the high from February 9th out there, but you've just got this little sideways move. I don't think it. We'll finish this up when we come back from the sub break here.
If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my Gold Report. The Gold Report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the Gold Report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the Gold Report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So if we take a look at, just to finish up BTAI, I don't see it necessarily. There's no indication that this thing wants to pop higher by Friday. It's only Tuesday, though. So it's really kind of a neutral call right here. So hopefully that helps with regard to your decision out there for BTAI. So thanks so much for taking the time to write in. Hopefully the information I provided you will be of assistance. So I don't have any other request. I take that back. Duffy would like, okay, Spokane Bob. Thank you, guys. So we've got ENVX. Let's go see what that is. ENVX, this is for Bob in Spokane. ENVX trading out at 815 right now, and that is trading below the daily profile. So the first thing that I would say here, Bob, is that price should target its red oscillator and change line at 778. This is for NOVIX Corp out there. So that's what the daily time frame tells us. The weekly time frame shows us that price is trading below its red oscillator and change line, and therefore maybe it's going to go target its level of support. That's 715. So we've got a 778 call and a 715 call at the moment. When we look at the monthly time frame chart out there, it does have a confirmed Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. That confirmed back here on May of 2022. It confirmed again on July of 2022. That area is being tested. So what was it tested with? Well, the volume in that May time period was 64 million shares, and last month was, sorry about that. Last month was 123. So price was pushing into a swing point with volume. You're still inside that swing point. What that says to me is that what's not being shown? Hold on a second here. Still seeing the 3-panel chart. Yeah. TAI. BTA. Wow. So okay, I think I'm going to do here. I don't know what I'm going to do here. I'm going to solve this. Okay, let's see, folks. So we're having a technical difficulty. This is not going to be convenient for me to do this for sure, but so I apologize for this. Production room, do you guys see the black screen? I want to make sure you see the black screen right now. Sorry that we got to work through this, but it doesn't do me a whole lot of good to talk and show you stuff when nobody's looking. It's all gray. Wow. Okay, so all right, let's go try this again. Let me stop streaming. Let me start again. And here, the white background charts everybody should be seeing is ENVX. So in the production room, do you see ENVX, 3-panel white screen? If so, that would be helpful. No. Wow. Okay. Well, folks, that means like for the next 6 minutes, I'm going to talk, and you got ENVX. So there's an issue inside the production room, not inside. I don't know. I'm going to just keep talking and try to answer the questions as best I can. So what I was about to say here with regard to the monthly time frame chart is that since price is pushing into that swing point, it tested and rejected it, but it did it with volume. Price should test that again. So that low out here with regard to ENVX is at 726. So we had 726, 715, and 778. So all those signals suggest that this instrument should head lower on an intraday short-term time frame basis. What this is attempting to do right now is attempting to form a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. It has not done that just yet, but right now, well, it's only 3 minutes into it, so it's 11:33. And if we do get at 12 noon a bullish reversal candle, then what price should do is target 824, above that 833, and then above that 854 out there. So longer term, daily, weekly, and monthly all suggest lower price. The intraday chart, the 30-minute time frame says you could get a bounce. It just depends on what the candle formation is as we come into the 12 o'clock time frame. So I hope that helps you out. And whoever had asked that question, I'm sorry, I'm really multitasking here. 3-panel white works here. Okay, Mr. Will's got that. So, all right, we're just having some issues inside the production room for some reason, so we'll just keep moving here. There was another request. I'm just going to look for it. Tesla. So let's go take a look at Tesla. This is for Duffy. TSLA is a ticker symbol out there. And let's see where this is trading at. Give me a moment. ES-Mini 4107 is below that 4114 level out there. So we can come back to the ES. So to take a look at Tesla. Tesla today is a bullish signal. Now, when I say it's a bullish signal, what you can see out here is wave number 7. That's letter G. That's up at the high. So you've got a high. Price then comes all the way back and tests and rejects its green oscillator and change line. Did that yesterday. It did that as well today. It is trading inside a new profile that formed 2 days ago. It is bullish in structure. Price right now in the case of Tesla is taking on resistance. That's the top of its profile. The top of its profile is 200.78. We're trading right about that level right now. So if price can close above 200.78, let's take a look at the swing point. The swing point had volume of 215 million shares. Today, in the first 2 hours of trading, 102. Tesla is pushing into a swing point with volume. This is bullish. Nonetheless, it has to deal with the sellers that are residing at the top of its profile, 200.78. I do not know who's going to win this battle. But if price takes out and closes above the top of that profile, or, well, better stated, if price is able to close above 204.77, then what Tesla should do at a minimum is test that seventh wave high, and that's at 214 even Steven. If I look at the weekly time frame charts, which have a confirmed by the D-point pattern, price above profiles, nothing bearish here. And on a monthly basis, we're above last month's high. That's bullish, but price dealing with resistance. That's at 205.55. Now, we did have 2 months of Tesla below the bottom of its bullish structured profile. So the real counter trend test, should Tesla continue to move higher, and the daily and weekly charts are supporting that idea, with the exception of that wave number 7 top that's got to be taken out, that was at that 214 level, is that did I lose my train of thought? Is that price would, on a counter trend move higher, should find, if it's just a counter trend in Tesla, would find and should stall at 228.76. So to summarize it, the daily looks good. It's really neutral out here, but it's pushing into a swing point with volume. Watch today's close. The weekly chart says I want to continue to move higher. The monthly chart has a nice bottom pattern. That's a buy the D point pattern, and it's just dealing with resistance. First level resistance, 205.55. Above that, price should be able to make its way to 228. So hope that helps you out. I think that was for Duffy. And see if there's any other requests out there as I go through this slowly here. Life happens for you, Steve. Yep, no doubt about that. ES Whoosh, thank you for that notification. Yes, Tiger TV, just your Steve and your pink shirt. Wow. Okay, well, that's my Valentine's Day shirt. You know, I got to break it out a couple times a year out there. And so I don't see any other requests inside the Tiger's Den. Oh, we've got one here by email. This is from Hector and Patty. And Hector and Patty want to take a look at the John Deere. And so let's get DE up on our screens out here, and they also want to take a look at ADM. So we'll look at both of those, and it's a Happy Taco 2 for Tuesday. Yeah, I think on Valentine's Day we're going to skip tacos, but you never know. Maybe that's lunch. So you got Happy Valentine's. We'll buy the D point, be mine. I love it. So John Deere, ADM, where do you draw the A to B equals CD down on each? We are looking to buy the D point on these food supply. So I am not going to change screens here. Are we seeing the white, at least 3 white background screens? You guys in the den, at least? So the question is, where would you draw the A to B equals CD to the downside? So the first thing that I do out here, Hector, if there's confusion, and I'll just assume that there's confusion because you're answering that message, is look to a larger time frame chart. A larger time frame chart, see if you can more easily see the A to B equals CD pattern. When I take a look at it, I can't really easily see that. Why? Because the candle that I would have to use that made the low is the one from February 3rd, and I'd have to use that candle for the high too. Stevie doesn't like doing that for A to B CD patterns, but we'll be right back.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. Hector and Patty, I will get back to you on the A to B equals CD pattern. We've got a caller on the line here, and we have call-ahead seating here at TFNN. So we're going to go out to Ron in Denver. Ron, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding. Nice to hear from you. How are you today?
Great, Steve. Nice to hear from you. I've had a few thousand shares of this Nordic American tankers for about a year. I was in that $2 range. They're going to bring out their earnings, they said, on Monday the 27th of this month. I expect them to increase their dividend, and I just wondered what kind of if they increase their dividend substantially and the thing kicks up, what kind of resistance level would you think I'd be looking at?
The first one that you would, good question, Ron, and a nice investment here at this moment. I like what it's done on the daily, which yesterday was negated. It's TD9 count top, closed above a breakdown resistance level. You're trading above yesterday's high. That's a bullish signal, period. On a weekly basis, you're trading above last week's high. That's a bullish signal. Your next level of resistance is coming from the weekly time frame, and that is up at 384. You're trading right now at 360. If you can get above 384, let me see if I can find any other resistance out here. Above that, what are we dealing with? So I probably only have one line turned on. So give me a moment here, Ron. I'm going to go ahead and turn on a couple of other TD9 count breakdown resistance areas. So I've just got one on there. Let's go ahead and add that to 3. See what we can get out here. So again, I gave you the daily top of its profile. Wow. So the next area here is 363. So what did I give you before? That was, so you got 384. And just before that, you could have a battle. You should have a battle at 363. You close above 384. What do we have? That could be setting up a new A to B equals CD to the upside. The weekly chart also says 363. So this 360-ish area to 384, that's your resistance. If you can clear 384, I think this thing just continues to move higher out there. And there's just a number of A to B equals CD patterns that we can choose from. We take a look at the weekly time frame, so that all looks good. On the monthly time frame, it says your next level of resistance. So let's just say, they come out with their report, the market takes off to the upside. You got that 360, 384. I'd say if you clear 384, this thing can get all the way up to $8.68.
Okay. Steve, one of the things that's deceptive and confusing to me is I know the stock got real high before, But since then, they've had a substantial amount of shares. You know, there's a lot more shares out there now than what it was when it was real high. So, you know, on that, I don't expect it to make the kind of move it did before because it's got so many more shares now. How do you factor that into your technical?
I don't. You know, so I guess the only way the question is, you know, what shares trade hands to, but I don't. The only way I would really take a look at that is just looking at volume metrics, and where I use those volume metrics are trading into swing points. As an example, you got Nordic American tankers trading into a swing point from November 25th. The volume on that swing point was 24 million shares. This last week you did 15 million shares. So far, it's only Tuesday, and you're at 6.1 million shares. So that says that's 12, 18, at least 18 million shares if the volume were to maintain itself. So it's kind of pushing that swing point with light volume. So that would say to me that 384 level might be difficult, might be more complicated to get through. When do they release numbers? Did you say, was it tomorrow?
No, the Monday, the 27th.
Okay.
Earlier, they think they might increase, double that dividend from 5 cents to 10 cents, and which would be super move. But that's what's expected, I think.
Yeah, you got a really nice bullish message yesterday coming from the daily time frame chart. So, and when we look at the weekly,
they announced yesterday they're going to announce their earnings on the 27th.
Okay, but I can just tell you the way that shareholders responded, and that's really what I'm looking on the charts here from a pattern standpoint. Yesterday was a bullish signal, both on the daily and really on the weekly. And so this really should head higher out there. One other chart that I can put up here, just for the heck of it, I think I've got Nordic American tankers from a seasonal standpoint. So this is the last 10 years. Let's see how many years worth of data we've got. We've got 32 years worth of data. Oh, that's natural gas. Sorry about that. I thought it was Nordic American tankers in NAT, right? Let me see.
NAT.
Oh, it was there we go. Got it. So this will, okay. So let me see how many years that we've got. We've got 25 years worth of data. Let's put in where we're at right now. So that's where we're at right now. Are you seeing this by any chance, Ron? This little season mix chart?
It. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Let's detrend this. And so you can see here from where we're at, this is suggesting you may have a bit of choppiness, but seasonally speaking, this thing says that it wants to head higher into the about the end of April out there. So based upon what shareholders did yesterday in the message that they sent to you, based upon looking at the seasonal chart here, now we can move from 25 years and come down to, let's just say, the last 10, see what's been going on there. If we look at the last 10, really we get that same kind of information out here. So I think you stick with that trade. I don't see any reason. I can't come up with any reason why you wouldn't stick with that trade.
Yeah, I plan to stay with it until they announce their earnings and see how much they increase the dividend, and then I'll probably want to sell on strength at that time, I think.
Perfect. Well, Ron, good to hear from you. Is there anything else that I can help you with?
No, thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you.
Excellent. You do the same as well. Now, folks, I'm going to try something here. And so if you would be kind enough, I'm going to switch over to the black background chart, and hopefully it doesn't screw things up. And if it does, well, we'll just go with game plan B. I don't have game plan B yet, but we'll do it on the fly. And you should be seeing, if you're inside at least the Tiger's Den, you should be seeing the black background screens. You got it. Perfect. So here we're going to go back to Hector's question about John Deere and Archer Daniels Midland. So I said the first thing that I would do when I'm confused about the A to B equals CD pattern is simply go take a look at the weekly chart, see if I can find anything. I couldn't. So now let's just come back to the daily time frame. Here is how I would draw the A to B equals CD pattern, Hector and Patty. I would use as the high this little, what looks like a shooting star from January 17th. For the low, I'm going to use this low out here of January 24th, and that's the B point. And then the C point is going to be the high on February 1st. Now, let me explain to you, or share with you at least, how I decided upon that. Well, first of all, since we had this high that was out here on the trading day of November 23rd, price came all the way back to that area. So I don't feel compelled to have to use that high for this new A to B equals CD pattern, which has not been confirmed just yet because price has not taken out its B point. But so I'm going to come back here to the next high that makes sense, and that's the high from January 17th. This is the low. Why did Stevie pick this low here on January 24th versus this low here on February 2nd? The reason is, and it's very clear, is because when I knew that I was selecting this point, I knew that we had another high that came in that, quite frankly, took out the high of that day from February 2nd out there. So that just says here's the B point that we're dealing with. Volume there is 1.3 million shares. The low is 405.10 or 405.01. Price has to close below that to confirm or to generate an A to B equals CD pattern. So watch the volume. We got 1.3 million shares. Today you are at 679. That says you're going to do more volume than that. If John Deere closed below 405.01, you would have a daily A to B equals CD down pattern with 389 being the price target. You asked about ADM. Let's see if we can do this here relatively quickly. And on Archer Daniel Midland, this has got quite an A to B equals CD to the downside. So for this one, the A to B equals CD pattern here, boy, oh boy. So what we're going to use here, I'm going to just use the small one, the conservative one. Here's your A point. Here's your B point, the low of January 5th. The C point, the high of January 17th. Was that B point taken out with volume? That was 5 million shares. You took it out with 4 million. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Everything in the universe is governed by the Fibonacci sequence. This mathematical principle is responsible for everything from the most aesthetically pleasing artwork to patterns in the stock market. To stay on top of stock patterns you can take advantage of, sign up for the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter at TFNN.com. When you subscribe, you'll get a weekly report from veteran day trader Larry Pesavento on stocks you need to pay attention to. And you can trust Larry's analysis. After all, he's got 45 years experience as a day trader. Larry will also provide daily charts, videos, and data on the key markets that he's tracking. Expect notifications from Larry on market movement you need to act on at any time. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. Subscribe to the Fibonacci 24/7 newsletter today. TFNN.com, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years, with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So on the trading day of January 31st, the B point was passed with volume. So Archer Daniel Midland has a confirmed A to B equals CD to the downside. That should take us to the 76.70 level out there. So Hector and Patty, I hope that helps you out. And if not, my apologies. Let's switch screens here. Hopefully this is going to get to the white background screens for the folks. And this has got SOXL. That was a question. I typically don't look at this. I would look at the Qs or something. something for a trading decision out here. You've got wave number 7 top out there. We can see that. I would look, in this case here, obviously, I'd look at the SMHs. I'm just going to do that. What the heck? Really just need to see what they're communicating to us. So price is trading above its profile. No real, you've got to sell the D point pattern. It's really kind of neutral because you're above profile, you're below the green oscillator and change line. So for the SOXL or the SMHs, it's really a neutral signal as we speak right now. The weekly looks good and the monthly looks good. So it's just the daily that is the issue there. Let's go to the next request, which is take a look at Shopify. Where would we add to this? You've got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out here. And I would say that one area to consider adding would be at 45.27. It looks like we might even have a sell the D point pattern on the weekly chart, so that suggests a pullback, a further pullback. Price found resistance at its monthly time frame, so resistance is held. You got to sell the D point. It looks like on the weekly chart. You've got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top on the daily. We're going to go with 45.27, but as price gets down there, let's take a look at if there's some type of patterns going on the short-term time frame, like a 30-minute. I believe the last request out here was for LGO as a ticker symbol. LGO is consolidating with inside its daily profile between 589 and 650. The weekly chart, you're trading above profile, so that's a bullish signal. On the monthly, you've got a nice bottom. That took place 2 months ago, when it generated that bullish hammer candle. I confirmed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. So you got a nice long-term bottom out here, we'll say, on the monthly chart, and you got a consolidation going on the daily time frame. Folks, sorry for all the issues that I had, but everything was happening for us. Please have a happy Valentine's Day. Eat lots of chocolate and wear pink or red like Stevie. I'll see you tomorrow on Wonderful Wednesday. Please have a terrific Tuesday.